Hey, welcome, everyone. I'm just gonna wait just a couple of seconds for everyone to just join in and get comfortable. As I mentioned in the description of today's live, we will be doing things a little differently. So previously, I was following much of our 23-part webinar formula and just tweaking things here and there because with a webinar, typically you'd want to sell something to your audience at the end, whereas I didn't want to sell anything. This was just purely informational, but I did follow some of the structures of the webinar because it is educational as well. So today is going to be a little different. We will not be following the same formula. I'm hoping that we'll cover everything within 30 minutes still. Today is my 5-year wedding anniversary, so I want to wrap things up over here and get going. So I hope that everyone has joined in and has settled. And yeah, we can pretty much get things started. So today we are talking all about the squeeze page. So basically, what a squeeze page is, it's almost like a landing page, but it is mostly used for lead generation. So you'd find sometimes the landing page you can sell something. Um, Sometimes you can sell something big. Most of the time, I would suggest you sell something small so you can sort of create just trust with your audience before you try and get them to buy something that costs a lot of money from you. So a squeeze page is purely lead generation. You're not there to sell anything from them. You're not there requiring too much details from them either. So usually with the form on a squeeze page, you'd want to only have one or two at most segments, which is mainly your email as well as the first name of the person that you're trying to get contact details from. And then finally, the squeeze page is absolutely great. Sorry about that. One more back. The squeeze page is great for getting large volumes of leads that you are looking to build a relationship with. So I want to stress that part particularly because when it comes to what I've been teaching this past couple of weeks, we want to establish relationships with your potential clients, not just sell them on things. Whereas a landing page can help you do that. But with the landing page, you would want to get more details from them and more quality leads from them. I know sometimes with landing pages, what you can also do is get your audience to not so what you can do is then send your audience a couple of emails thereafter encouraging them to purchase whatever products or service you have on offer. But a squeeze page is almost the same, but it has those slight nuances. Like mentioned, you want as little details from your intended audience, and you will only ask them to, like, for instance, download something valuable, which is referred to as a lead magnet, instead of getting them to buy whatever products or services you have to offer. Cool. So, why would you want to have a squeeze page in any case? So, this is an excellent way for you to present your expertise. So, with regards to squeeze page, I will be mentioning something called the lead magnet very often, which is pretty much sharing your knowledge with your intended audience. You would then also want to invite potential customers to buy your products or services. This is known as upselling. I don't really like upselling. I feel like it sort of plays on the psychology of your consumers a little bit too much in a negative way, and it often leads to regret. I've bought into so many products and regretted them later on. So I try and avoid upselling at all times. However, you are able to do that if you have the right product and it is truly valuable to your intended audience. And then lastly, you'd want to have a squeeze page because it is a great way to separate your personal brand from your business. And it's also good if you are a multi-passionate individual. So you can have a whole bunch of squeeze pages all over the place, and you're always sharing different sort of products and services within those different squeeze pages. Okay. So the core elements of the squeeze page that I'll be covering today is your headline and your subheading. your call to action or CTA, your lead magnet, as I've mentioned, the imagery of your squeeze page, and finally social proof, or if you don't have social proof just yet, what alternatives you can use. And as I've mentioned last week, we will be covering some of the elements of marketing psychology and showing you how they play a role within the squeeze page. So that is coming up as well. So I know today's session will be a little different. However, I do still want you to ask questions. I want you to engage. I want you to focus, and I want you to take down as many notes as possible. I'll try and get to the questions at the end, but if I can't, you will have the Q&A session with me in week 6, where we will cover all of that. Okay, so let us get into it, guys. I'm going to just remove it quickly and get my squeeze page. So I pre-built a squeeze page for you. Nobody wanted to help me with this presentation for today, so nobody wanted me to create a squeeze page for them. I'm not sure why. Maybe people were too shy. Maybe you don't want everyone else in your business, which will be a very good reason. So whatever the reason might be, I decided then to, you know what, let me build a squeeze page using my own thing. Give me 2 seconds. I am trying to find the right thing. There we go. So I hope everyone is able to see these pages that I have created. So I've used my ebook, which is Niche Up and Double Up, to create this squeeze page. Let me just turn on the music. There we go. So that is pretty much what a squeeze page is meant to look like. So I'll just scroll down quickly. Like I said, it's meant to have as very little details as possible. And when you ask for contact information, it is just their name as well as email. Sometimes just the email as well will suffice. And that is pretty much what your squeeze page is meant to look like. A landing page would look a little similar, but it might have more details. And again, the form would require more details from the potential lead, like their contact number, perhaps the company they work for, as well as the role that they play within the company, because you're trying to get quality leads, not just a large volume of leads. With landing pages, you are trying to make quick sales, whereas with squeeze pages, you are trying to build a relationship with your potential audience. Okay, so let us start with the heading. So your headline, your subheading, as well as your CTA over there, your call to action, has got to be above the fold. By that I mean, as soon as someone lands on your squeeze page, they shouldn't have to scroll up for them to find what the squeeze page is all about. They shouldn't have to scroll up for them to find your form or your call to action button. It should be available for them immediately before they have to scroll up the page. For this one, I just used the call to action button here, which is the free ebook download. Whereas if they were to click on this, it is meant to lead them to the form. I did not create the form for this for today because it is, again, going to look pretty much as simple as this, which is the first name and the email of your potential lead. You want to do that, again, so that it doesn't require so much effort from your intended audience to connect with you, but also you want to make it, I can put it, so you want to make it as quick and fast for them to engage with you. But I like having the call to action button here that doesn't require the contact details. First of all, it is much neater, but also it requires an extra step of commitment from them. If they click on free ebook download and they get to the form page, they are more likely willing to fill out the form because they've already taken that first step. So I believe last week we mentioned that one of the marketing psychology tactics that you use within marketing is getting commitment or small commitments from your intended customers along the way, and having a call to action button here that leads them to a form page is an excellent way to do just that. I also like Squeeze Page because it's all about lead generation. And when it comes to lead generation, you need to really have a good lead magnet. So with that, you would want to then have something of value to offer your customers. So with this one, I just use the ebook as an example. You can, for a lead magnet, you can use, for instance, you can use the ebooks, you can use online courses. So if you have like an online course that you created, but you want to give that away for free to your audience, you are more than welcome to do so. You can do research papers and white papers, checklists or guides, and offer that to your intended audience for free. And that plays on the marketing psychology tactic of reciprocity, because you're giving them something. So again, they are more likely to want to give you something in return whenever you do get to ask them. So that is, I've covered the lead magnet, I've covered a bit of the CTA as well as the headline and subheadline above the fold. Your headline is meant to be very brief, simple, and I like using headlines that speak to what your audience is going to get when they do download whatever it is they have to offer. So the one I used here was simply transform your content from noise to money. So it explains to your intended audience very briefly what it is they could potentially get whenever they do engage with you. So if they do download the book, what are they going to get from it? Again, like I mentioned last week, I do not like using FOMO or fear marketing tactics where you say, hey, if you don't download this book, your life is going to be terrible. You do not want to focus on the pain points too much or on the negative aspects so much so, because you are trying to build a relationship or retain your intended audience and not just sell them on something very quickly. If you were trying to sell them on something, you would want to use those sort of tactics, but again, it does not have longevity to it. So keeping the headline very simple and short and explaining what the benefits of downloading whatever it is you have to offer is a good way to build a relationship with your intended audience. And again, the sub headline just sort of touches or it amplifies the heading. So yeah, I just use uncover the secrets to creating profitable, engaging content that attracts clients fast. So I used fast there because using words such as fast and free, those also help you sell better or help your intended audience understand exactly the sort of results they could potentially achieve if they download whatever it is you have to offer. So that is pretty much that. And then as the person scrolls down, they are then able to see the benefits of the ebook. So here I mentioned only three benefits, which is the power of niching and helping them discover how to establish a niche and also set up content and marketing strategies for their niche. Help them to become irresistible or um, make yourself someone your target audience wants to listen to. And then the third benefit here I wrote was that I'd give them real world examples on how to come up with content ideas that drive results. So over here, this is the section where you would want to put social proof. Social proof works very well when it comes to squeeze pages and landing pages. But I know sometimes you might not even have social proof just yet. Maybe it is a new product. I do have social proof for this, but I just don't want to add it to this. So I can show you that, hey, you are able to use other methods besides social proof in order to drive an audience towards an intended action. So here I used the benefits of downloading the book instead of social proof. Some other people also mentioned stacking. So when it comes to offer stacking, instead of just offering them the ebook, they say, okay, besides the ebook, what you'll get is a 15-minute video of me explaining something very important, plus a checklist, plus a white paper. So you are stacking the offer or the benefits of the offer. So the person is like, okay, I'm not just getting another ebook, but I'm getting all of these other informational products, all for free, hopefully, so that they're able to then also again drive them to download the free ebook or and submit their contact details to you. And then at the very end, I wanted to add the form completely. So, but the form as well as the call to action button here has got the same sort of action. So when someone is supposed to click on this button, it is supposed to lead them to this form where they are able to add their name as well as their email. But in order for me to just I think I just wanted, I felt like it just looked prettier when it has the form details added here at the bottom. If it was added here at the top, it would not have been, there was just not enough space. So it would force your intended audience to scroll up in order to submit their details. And again, you do not want that. So instead, you'd want to have a call to action button here that leads to the form. You can have, if you've got more details on the Squeeze page, you then also add the form, the C2A button, the call to action button here at the bottom, again, leading them to the form page. I hope that makes sense. Again, if any of you have any questions, guys, please do not forget to just leave me a comment and let me know, hey, see, we are lost here, and I'll happily explain everything once more. And then the final thing that I want to explain with regards to the Squeeze page is the imagery that you can use. So here I just used a copy or the image cover of the book. However, my first suggestion is always to share a video. So I do not have time to create a video for this, especially because this is not the page that I want to create. So I always suggest that if you can, create a video for your audience explaining exactly what it is they'll get if they do download the ebook or whatever else it is that you have to offer them. Creating a video is just a great way for you to generate likability. So, the likability, you want your audience to see, hey, you are a friendly person, you are a great person, someone that you can connect with, and therefore it will encourage them again to take action, which is to, in this case, to download the free ebook. The second option is to use your image. So if you just have a picture of your face, front-facing picture, smiling, hopefully, don't want to look too serious. I know sometimes people want to come across as serious and stern within their pictures, but again, if you want to generate likability, it would be best for you to smile if ever you've got a picture here. So the picture I chose here was one that was smiling again. I do have other pictures with that I sort of generated for the ebook that have serious faces. I was like, I look so professional and all, but hey, professional doesn't always sell and doesn't always guide your audience to take a particular action. So if you can get a picture where you're front facing, where you're smiling, having pictures where your hands are showing is also very important. So you don't want to have your folded arms or you have your hands at the bottom where the audience can't see them. Again, showing your hands creates a sense of trust with your intended audience. So that is always a great way to connect with them before you even say anything. And then the final option, if you absolutely have to, then you can have graphics that relate to what it is that you have to offer. So with this, I had the cover of the actual book, so they can see exactly what it is they'll be getting. So that is always the very, very last option. Again, if you can, create a video for your Squeeze page. The video would have most likely have to be somewhere in this section, just below the call to action button because it will be too big to have in the corner there. But I do believe perhaps if you could slide everything to the right, you might be able to fit the video on the left, but it would be quite small. So it is doable, but I would not suggest. I don't see it happening at this point. I don't see it happening, but yeah, that could that could work. But first suggestion would be to have it below. So you'd have like just maybe you'd have your graphic here at the top, and then below this you'd have the video that explains exactly what it is you have to offer, the benefits of downloading the book, and then below the video then you'd have your social proof and what everyone else is saying about the book and how it has helped them, make money, create better content, develop the niche, and whatever it is that you have to offer, or what your previous customers have already established works very well for them. So that is pretty much what a squeeze page is all about. I created this one literally like within 30 minutes, perhaps even less time, because I had to fiddle around with the site builder briefly before I could get a good feel for what it is I was doing. So this one took me less than 30 minutes to create. I literally did it this morning. um, and and just goes to show you just how easy it is to create a squeeze page for yourself as well. As long as you have, a good headline, a good subheading, a good images. Even if you don't have a video, at least good images that showcase exactly what it is you have to offer, as well as a great lead magnet that people would want to get from you. That is pretty much the fundamentals of any squeeze page. And again, it is a very quick, simple, easy way for you to get reciprocity, or give or generate reciprocity, to generate likability, to get commitment from your intended audience. If you want to, perhaps, like I said, you can even upsell them using this sort of formula. So after they've downloaded the ebook, you take them to another landing page where you say, hey, if you like the ebook, I have a video online course as well that teaches you some of the same mechanisms. Perhaps you'd like to buy that, and then you send them the download link or the file, whatever, the payment gateway to buy whatever it is that you have to offer. So that is pretty much how a squeeze page works, guys. And I used Zoho sites to build that squeeze page. So I like using drag and drop website or CMS builders because they are very user friendly. You don't need as much technical skills to build any sort of website using a drag and drop site builder. So things like your Zoho sites, Wix also has the drag and drop, I believe. GoDaddy also has that, and they have a lot of pre-built templates that are easy to maneuver. So it like I said, this took me 30 minutes to build, so it doesn't require that much time from you. You could use your typical pick and click CMS builder, so your WordPress. But WordPress requires you again to have a bit of technical skills. It requires you to leverage a whole lot of different plugins in order to get a website that looks seamless, or squeeze page rather, that looks professional and seamless as this one does. But you could also use what's it called, like a landing page builder. So there are companies like Lead Pages and ClickFunnels. So again, they have pre-built templates that you can leverage to create a landing page, a squeeze page if you need to. But the one thing about those is they're quite expensive. So I remember I was on ClickFunnels for a couple of months. I used to pay about 1,500 Rand in order to leverage that every single month. And again, as a small business owner, as a startup, you don't really want to be spending that much money on just a site builder. But again, it offers more functionality. It makes your squeeze pages look more professional. They always looked great, but again, you want to weigh the pros and cons of these sort of things. So using a pick and not a pick and drop, a drag and drop site builder like Zoho, GoDaddy, and I believe Wix also has the same functionality. It would allow you to create one pages, squeeze pages that look good but don't cost you as much. With Zoho, one of the things I like about Zoho is that it has a whole bunch of different tools, business tools, really, that you can leverage for your business. So again, besides the website builder that I just showed you, you are able to get website forms as well, or pre-built forms that you're able to leverage. Again, you can link that to your email newsletter or your CRM. You can link that to your payment gateways and all of that. If you've got an e-commerce store, you can link all of the different tools together to create, a seamless business, so to speak. But yes, guys, that is pretty much what a squeeze page is all about. I do hope that you found today's session informative. Like I said, I wanted to make it a little shorter, and I needed to, just squeeze as much information into this 30 minutes. But please let me know if you have any questions. I am more than happy to answer. I think I got like 5 more minutes to spare for you, maybe four. But if you don't have any questions, all good, all good. Next week, we will be doing content marketing for coaches and consultants. So we'll be discussing your social media content as well as thought leadership content. So please stay tuned for that. And because today's session was all about it, I do want to just remind you that, hey, you can download Niche Up and Double Up. I believe I shared this with you a couple of weeks ago, but hey, if you missed that, feel free to download it now. I don't see any questions coming through, so I'm assuming everyone is satisfied with the squeeze page. You fully understand what it is all about, and you are able to build your own squeeze pages. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Let me love and leave you. I hope everyone is having an amazing festive season. I probably will see you after the New Year. So I hope you enjoy your 2024. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and I'll see you again next week.